Have you ever taken a stone and thrown it into a pond when the waters are calm and still? That's the time I love to take a rock and throw it as high as I can into the air and then watch it as it hits the water. Then I stand there and watch as the rock creates a plop and a splash that creates little waves in the water. We call them ripples. And I love to watch and see how far the ripples go before they die out. We call it the ripple effect. Friday's lesson reminds us that God is into creating ripple effects. Think of it this way. God first plops himself in the sanctuary and his presence could be felt. First it was felt by the high priest, and then it rippled to the priests. And then it rippled to the pilgrims and the worshipers around the temple. Then it rippled over to the palace of the king, and then throughout the city. I can imagine David standing in the palace window that looked towards the temple, and he could just sense that God was in his house. But the ripple doesn't stop there. It ripples throughout the city, the neighboring towns and villages, and eventually throughout the entire nation. God was in his house, and the entire nation was blessed. But the ripples didn't stop there, because this blessing was meant for the entire planet, because God was and is the God of the entire world. Fast forward to a manger. Only this time, God, in the form of a human baby, would plop down on planet Earth. Everywhere he went, Jesus was creating ripples. Everywhere he went, he was preaching and teaching, blessing and performing miracles. God was down on planet Earth, creating ripples all over the place. And every time he created a ripple, somebody was being blessed, somebody was being set free, somebody was being healed, and somebody was being saved. Every splash Jesus made, every ripple he created was a lesson in this one thing. The kingdom of God, the Zion, had come. You see, Zion is first a person, and Zion has a name, and his name is Jesus. And this Jesus created a ripple in our hearts, a longing for us to be wherever God is. Jesus said in John 14:2-3, "In my Father's house are many dwelling places. If it were not so, I would have told you, for I go to prepare a place for you. If I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also." Jesus is building a home for you and me. I guess it's true after all. Home is where the heart is, and what my heart wants is Jesus. What about you? Well, those were our final thoughts and nuggets for this week. Now we want you to take some time this week, this Sabbath, to visit your local Adventist church and share with them some of the things you've learned about, well, God and Zion and where the heart is. And please, don't forget to join us next week as Cynthia will share with us some of her thoughts and insights into next week's lesson, Worship That Never Ends. I know you're going to be blessed. Well, thank you for joining us this week. Happy Sabbath to come, and we will see you next week.